Alaska's an adventure.
Majestic.
Love.
Peaceful.
Opportunity.
Isolated.
Rewarding.
Adventurous.
Fantastic.
There are approximately 733,000 people in the state, and at least 250,000 of those live in smaller communities. Some of the communities are very hard to get to, but there are groups of people there that want to have church. There are a lot of people in the whole state who are running away from things, and there's a real issue in the state too with drinking and drugging.
Ministry here in Ketchikan, we have the highest numbers of kids in foster care. So many of these kids are being born with issues that happened because their mom was on drugs. It is a really dark community, and the kids need Jesus more than anything.
It's still the last frontier. The big difference is the self-sufficiency of people up here. And self-sufficient people have a hard time realizing they need the Lord. And so you got people living all around us here that they're trying to escape from society, escape from the system.
Eagle River, where we're at, has a population of about 35,000 people just outside of Anchorage, and it really is a diverse community with a lot of different people from different backgrounds. ACF has grown a lot over the years. We've been able to be a church that serves well. We're about 75% military in our church currently. And so all of this comes together to create this beautiful picture of the people that God created and this environment where we can reach people from all over the world right here in Alaska.
It just tends to be a very transient state in general. In a lot of ways, that's actually really strategic, because as you catch them coming in, you can raise them up, help them to be better followers of Christ, and then they're sent out.
In the lower 48, you have the luxury of only cooperating and fellowshipping with people of exactly the same stripe and ministry philosophy as yourself. But in Alaska, especially on an island in Alaska, you don't have that luxury. So you either learn to broaden your definition of what constitutes being of like faith with other believers and cooperate with them, or you lone wolf it.
Our churches in Alaska look very different depending on where you're doing ministry. The building might be really different. This building looks fairly modern, and in many of the village communities and smaller communities, you've got a building that was built by a small group of people 30 years ago, and it's exactly what they need so that they can continue to do ministry in that context.
Up here, there's some places like Anchorage that it's going to be similar to an extent, but then when you come out to the bush communities, first time you're up in Kotzebue and see a sled dog team come down the road, you know things are different. So we've been here for a long time, 30 some odd years. And I've seen where we've gained great ground in a lot of areas, but we've lost a lot of ground. And so I think it's a rebuilding time. And not just a rebuilding time, we still have communities that don't have the gospel presence where not even a believer lives. We've got a church in Edna Bay. To get there, you've got to get to Ketchikan, then you got to get to Prince Wells, then you got to get to Knockety. And then it may be days before you can catch a plane because the weather's bad, or maybe you know somebody with a boat. And then if you get there, you're probably going to get stuck.
Living so remotely on an island with only 40 people, when something breaks, it can take months, especially during the winter, to get here and get resupplied. And we don't get 2-day prime delivery, that's for sure.
One of the things that is needed and has been needed for some time is leaders being raised up from Alaska, especially in the bush, in the villages.
If you're looking for something easy, don't come to Alaska. The needs are immense in Alaska. People are deeply broken and so far from home and so stuck in addiction and isolation and with mental health issues that this is not an easy work, but it's a worthy work, and it's worth giving your life to.
Many communities in Alaska have little or no faith presence at all. People could, if God moves them, move up here and start a home Bible study. Start bringing a faith presence where Jesus needs to be heard in communities throughout Alaska.
You know, really there's only two things that last. You know, the Word of God endureth forever, and people, whether they live with or without God. And we want to make sure that people have the opportunity to get to know God.
So I think the best way to partner with us, first of all, prayer. That's so critical, that we would be a people praying for revival in Anchorage, praying for revival in Alaska. Another way to partner with us is to send up a team of people who want to do street evangelism. Anchorage is one of these communities where people from all over the world come in.
We know once people come to Alaska, they fall in love with Alaska, and God reaches them, and God speaks to them, and God then gives a mission for them in the state of Alaska.
We want that promise fulfilled in Revelations where it says every tribe, every tongue, every nation is going to stand before the throne room of God saying, "Holy, holy is the Lamb who was slain." I want that for my people.
I'm 78, but I still plan to press on until I see the work established. Wherever you go, there's only the gospel that can change things. Nothing else works. Nothing else that anybody can try will actually work. There's only the gospel that can change lives. And there's a vast amount of work to do. And I'm just going to go forward as long as I can. I don't plan to quit, put it that way.